What is going on, everybody? We're back with another discussion about Strange New Worlds. This week we're talking about Season 3, Episode 6, and that episode is entitled The
The
Sehlat Who.
dog that caught the car.
That's right. Or as the Vulcans like to say it, the Sehlat Who Ate Its Tail.
That's true. They do say that. I've heard them say that.
Very well known Vulcan
I've
saying.
definitely heard at least one Vulcan say it.
My name is Will, and this is my co host.
Caleb.
And we are about to do some new Trek. Who
Who
dis?
this?
Goodbye, 1966. Yes, the times are a-changing with new stories and sweet kicks and Mr. Warfake dancing. Red alert, set phasers to fun. Incoming message, the podcast has begun. From Pike to Freeman in the mix, let's get our Star Trek fix. Paying homage to the classics. It's new Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's new Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's new Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's new Trek Who Dis. Who dis?
So, before we get into a spoiler filled review, let's go over to Caleb and ask Caleb what he thought of the episode by ranking it out of
Ooh.
5 deltas.
I gotta tell you, Will, I'm really gun shy on Strange New Worlds because I feel like I come into this like, yeah, and then I will give my rating, and you're like, oh, that's nice. I absolutely hated it. I'm always like, man, 5, and you're like, yeah, it's like a 1 easily. I just never know what to think because my issue is that I enjoy the show for what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not always trying to connect it, which I know you should, because this is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Pike before TOS. I totally get that.
yep,
I think I'm just able to enjoy the show more for what it is, and what it is
yes,
pre-Trek. You know what I mean?
yeah, new pre-Trek.
New pre-Trek. I have given up on it connecting. I've given up on reasoning why things are the way they are. So with being able to do that, I think because I have less overall Trek knowledge than you, I think it's easier for me. And I know
Sure.
that's a really long-winded way to say I think this episode, I'm gonna give this episode a 4 this week. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Ooh,
So
which makes it 3.5 total.
3
3.75.
3/4, yeah, of an episode. And I think we can gladly agree to disagree.
Sounds like we agree this week.
So here's my thing, because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you're saying,
Yes.
but in the negative.
Excellent.
This was like another tomorrow
Tomorrow's tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
for me, where it furthered that this has nothing to do.
Nothing to do whatsoever with TOS. Yeah.
Correct. And I had to just stop because I probably would have given it a 1 by the time I
Yeah.
got 10 minutes into it.
No, I know. And I knew that you were going to feel that way when I was watching the episode because the half of me that understands you was like, oh, yeah, this is really stupid. This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But the other half of me was like, hey, it's like what they want the fanboys to be.
Yeah.
I was like, original crew, but it doesn't make
No.
any sense
No.
because remember, Will, Kirk only knows about Admiral Pike in passing.
He served with him
Yeah.
one time
One time
when he was a fleet admiral,
or
which they've
6
already shown.
or 7 times.
But before we get into a full spoiler review, what would be your tagline for
Man.
somebody to
Action-packed phones. No, seriously, my tagline would be like, man, it is a pretty action-heavy episode, and it is fun to see new, almost all legacy crew. Just missing Bones, baby.
Bones, Sulu, and Chekhov?
Well, I don't count those two.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, honestly, do you really count Chekhov for anything?
He's lower on my list, but I definitely count Sulu and Bones. So
He is probably above Chapel. I'll give you that. Yeah.
but I mean, we got Captain Sulu and all that good stuff. So I
Yeah.
still count Sulu.
That's true. If you're going off of movie stuff. Yeah.
But my tagline would be basically interesting concept, fun exploration of different ideas, a little doomsday machiney, if you like that.
Yeah.
But my only caveat is if you
Yeah.
want to see more of the Enterprise crew, good luck. So that's where I'll leave it before
Mm.
now we get into spoilers.
Recommend we go to Red Alert.
Red alert!
What if Star Trek had to face off against a Galactus entity?
Yeah. What if it was like a doomsday machine that also was like a Packland ship?
Yeah, right. And they're kind of like Borgs.
And they're kind of like Borgs. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
let's, like we always do, let's talk negative stuff.
Get negatives out of the way. Let me look at my
Yeah.
list.
The one big one for me is that I knew early on that the
Mhm.
twist was going to be that the scavengers were humans. I already knew that. In the middle of my notes here, let me see if I can find it. I think it's
Interesting.
the first time they showed up.
When
and
you
see
s-
them on the Enterprise
Okay.
in their
Yeah, then
suits.
that's same.
I said,
Okay.
cool looking suits. Can't wait for them to just have one extra eyebrow, is what I wrote. So maybe per se, it wasn't like, at this point, I wasn't like, oh, they're human beings. It was like, they're just going to be humanoid aliens,
Right. Yeah.
maybe. But then towards the end, I was like, oh, when they did the whole, like, you're never going to believe what DNA is floating out in space, I was like, they're humans. They're 100% human beings.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy, like, that was such a big,
No, it wasn't.
like, oh, we lost 7,000 people. And I was like, why do you care? They're so far removed from humanity.
Right.
And it's like, so the idea that, well, this was the best that humankind offered, and this is what they became. Like, okay, now you got my attention with that.
Sure.
But I don't understand why everybody's crying over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also think it played flat to the fact that like Kirk was really upset that it was specifically humans. And it's like, so if you're saying if it was
Yeah.
a bunch of Vulcans or Klingons or whatever, he'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, who
Doesn't matter.
cares?
Yeah,
And
who
it's
cares?
like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, he feels real bad about blowing up the ship because it was human beings.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It was
I mean,
weird.
either way, you killed 7,000 things.
The
So,
story,
yeah.
right? Like the concept
Yeah.
of the idea and it being a mystery as to what happened to them. And it's very V'ger like, where the satellite
Yes.
went out, something found it and made it this monstrosity thing, right?
I feel like this is a trope we've seen a lot in Star Trek, though, where it's like, oh, this was like early space launch stuff. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And yet
yeah,
again, they
it
alter
is.
history where there's another space crew before Zephyr and Cochrane,
Mhm.
you know, but which is fine. I don't care about that as much.
Right, because even in my
that's
favorite episode, Casino Royale, that's
Yes.
yet again another
another
human spaceship that went out before warp
Yeah.
technology. So they just
Yes.
were launching human probes into space for
Constantly.
millennia until Cochrane.
They
So
were like,
that's
we're
good.
devastated from World War III. Just keep sending people up. to
Launch
space."
them.
But yeah, I didn't care for the ending. That's what really honestly brought it down. At least a full delta
Yeah.
for me. I really didn't
So-
like the ending.
Here's the other thing. We saw the phones in the trailer.
Yeah.
And we were like, what
Yeah.
the frick is that about? Now, it's ridiculous. I'll admit, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But
But at least it was written in a way where I was like, at least they explained it, right? Because in the
Yes.
trailer, it's like, isn't that crazy? There's phones on the end. It's like, yeah. But have it being like,
it totally made sense.
Paleos would be like, yeah, I got all this stuff from the 80s.
Yeah.
I was like,
And it made
I
sense.
kind of enjoy it. Yeah.
Because we saw her in that other episode collecting stuff on Earth.
Mhm.
So like it
Yes.
played right
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
No, it was the funniest thing that them wiring it up with Atari joysticks and phones was like the least issue I had with the
It's
episode.
pretty good. Yeah.
I really didn't. That wasn't it. It honestly boiled down to the ending.
Mhm.
I
Which
didn't
it
like
usually
that.
does.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Kirk and Pike were interacting with each other. That didn't make it.
Mhm.
Just didn't make any sense.
No, it
And
doesn't.
Ortegas being at the con made no sense.
She's fine. Yeah, no, that we got to move past that. Well, she was disciplined
Um,
for 3 seconds, and that's plenty. She learned her lesson. See,
kept-
for what it is, I enjoy Pike and Kirk being together. I feel like it's this fun, like what if
Oh, sure.
scenario. I understand that it makes no sense
No.
on the overall
No, it really
history.
Because then when you flash forward to Shatner and he's like, "No, I don't really know who the man was." It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you don't know who the man was? You've done
Did you
several
like?
things with
Yeah, I don't know. Did you like Scotty like kind of yelling at Kirk, being like, "Hey, we need to get this guy like off the bridge."
Yes, yeah. I think the only other really big thing I didn't like was there were a couple like little things. Like
Hmm.
Kirk said risk like way too much in the episode. He kept saying like
Well,
that's our
the
risk.
whole beginning,
Risks.
when he's talking to the captain of his ship, I was like, so they literally only watched the episode where he says, "Risk is our business," and they're
Right.
like, "That's who Kirk is."
Right.
Like you said, that's all he said was risk. Like we gotta take risk.
It's like
Yeah. Yes, he
yes.
says that a few times in the original series, but
It's
not
just
all in the
like
same
it's like
episode.
cutting to Yoda and all he says is the is force.
Every time you have like a thing that you need to figure out, you cut to Yoda and he says, "Do or do not."
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah.
that's what it is. And the other thing that just was kind of weird, and I don't know how you felt about it, I didn't really like it. And I know it was supposed to play for like a funny haha gag, but it really didn't land well for me when it was Pike is looking at the umbilical cord in the hallway and he's like investigating it with Laan and he's like pulling it apart and I forget why they have to do
Mm,
what they're doing. And he's like, "Well, you're gonna have to go into waste containment to get like some part or something or some lubricant or something to
yeah.
like help get this thing off." And she like looks at him and he doesn't say anything. And then he looks at her and he's like, I'm undoing the fuel loss," whatever he says. Like, well, you oops, you have
Yeah.
to go do the guard. And
Uh-huh.
I was just like,
Yeah.
like he's a captain and there's no
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to go do yucky stuff because I'm a captain, you have to go do it's just like I feel like it
Yeah.
would have been a stronger suit if he was like, okay, Lon, you do this, I'm gonna go do that thing. Like the captain chooses to do the grosser thing because he's a captain, and then Lon is
Or
like, no, I'll do it, captain, you stay here.
also like since there's like entities on board, like shouldn't they be going together to do
Or that too,
things?
yeah, that's true.
Or like
Right,
watching
because they
each
didn't.
other's back and
Yeah, that's a good point.
like, hey, be careful that other alien's still on board. Anyway, let's turn our backs to this hallway and really look at this machinery. Yeah.
I think that's generally what I had big issues with.
I don't enjoy, and I think Enterprise did this too. But I think it was more or less where Archer always put himself in the position to be like kind of beaten down for
Hmm.
his crew. But I just in this, it's like I always feel like whenever Pike and like gets into like combat, he's just immediately taken down,
Oh, maybe always, like
like
constantly.
like a lot, right? Like it's not just
Oh,
me.
way too much.
Like he's fighting
This,
this thing, and this thing throws him against the door, and it's like, oh, okay,
now I don't,
like pretty
yeah,
immediately.
no, I don't know. Like I know Anson Mount had a kid or his wife was pregnant or something like
Mm,
sometime soon, recently-ish, maybe not. But like the way he is handled in this season by and large is feels like it's the season where Anson Mount is pregnant and so like he couldn't do much kind of a thing. You know how they do it in shows where it's like, uh-oh,
yeah,
famous
he's got to
cat.
wear a sweater, or he's got to
Right.
stand behind the
And they
couch.
don't give
Or
that character a lot to do, right? Because it's like,
it
you
does
don't
feel
want
like that, doesn't it? Yeah.
it's like I said to Adrian when we were watching it, and I've said it probably the last two episodes, maybe three, is the show is supposed to be about the continuation of the cage. So it's supposed to
Hmm.
be Pike, Una, and Spock, and then all these other characters sprinkled in. And they decided to bring more legacy characters over, Chapel, Mbenga, Uhura,
Yeah.
now Scotty, right? And it's like, okay, whatever. That's their decision. But like the show is those three people. And
Hmm.
I'm like, could you imagine we moved on to like next generation and it's like, well, you have Worf and Geordi and Beverly, but we're going to constantly show Kirk and Spock and Bones, and we're going to follow what they're doing over here on this like other thing. But the show
Yeah.
is Star Trek: The Next Generation. And you're like, well, what about John Luke Picard? It's like, nope, we're going to see what Kirk and Spock and
He
Bones are up to. You're
he
like,
comes on once in a while when he has to like pretend to be captain for the
yeah,
day. Yeah.
it's so bizarre. I like it. It literally feels like Anson Mount had some other commitment, and he just like legitimately could not film a lot of it.
I feel more and more this season like they are legitimately trying to like phase him out
Yes,
is how I
yes,
feel.
and they
And
said
it's
it.
like, and like that's where we were getting to, but it just,
Yes,
I don't know. They're just giving him less and less to do.
and they said in that Vanity interview that you and I watched that like the last season is literally supposed to be like handing the keys over to Kirk, and that's fine, but that's like
Hmm.
literally a season and a
But
half
that's
away
been
from now.
But that's been since season 2. I mean, as soon as they brought him on board,
Yeah.
it's like, get it, you know?
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. I just go back to like season 1 of, Pike having like people in his quarters and doing dinner and having his
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
speeches and being in
Exactly.
charge of the ship and now
Like
I
he
just feel
was
like he doesn't do much. I mean, and that's
anything.
funny because even a couple weeks ago, him and Banga had like a full side mission, but I just feel like even in that episode, he wasn't utilized. That whole episode was about, his girlfriend, but also Mbanga had to fight the
Yeah.
guy's
He totally
daughter that he
takes
killed. And it's like
he takes
Mbanga
a
takes
back seat to the
over.
whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's legitimately weird to watch a show with a captain in the helm, and I know way more and so much more other things are going on with those characters than the
Hmm.
actual captain. And it's like, yeah, Picard doesn't really do a lot like in Next Gen as we're watching it. Like he's not constantly involved in every single aspect, but like he's in every shot, he's in every scene, he's filling out the role in some capacity. He's moving the story forward with his captain's logs or stuff in his ready room
Yeah.
or stuff in the observation. He's moving the story. Just like Kirk is in the
Yeah.
TOS. Like this is what they do. And now you cut here and it's like Spock's log, Kirk's log, Lan's log, and it's
Hmm.
like, and then then Pike's on a monitor this big on this, he's like this big on the screen and he's talking
Yeah.
to somebody. You're like, and I get it was nice that he was in the hallway and he was with La'an and he acts really well. The
Oh
suffocating
yeah.
scene is like fantastic when she gets him in the
He's
room
always
and gives him the
great.
air.
That's why I'm just bummed that I don't get to see him do more stuff, I think.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like that's was another reason why I lowered it down. It just is like I like the guy, I like Paul Wesley. He plays a
Hmm.
good Kirk. I enjoy his Kirk. He doesn't overact in any of the scenes. He doesn't do the
No,
stuff he
he's
did in
great.
that episode. He's great.
No, that's my problem too, is I love him and I love Pike. Or
Yeah,
the guy who plays Kirk and the guy who plays Spock. Like they're fantastic.
they're
Like
great.
I
No, they're
want
that's what
more
I'm
of
saying.
that, but I also want them to have their own time to shine. I want this to be Pike's send
Yeah,
off. You know what I mean?
exactly. And
Because
that
that's the whole point.
and to your credit, like them being in the Vulcan captain's room for Varel or something, and he was like
Hmm.
fixing the chess piece, the 3D chessboard, and Spock goes in to talk to him. Like it's a pretty decent scene,
It's good.
and it's just like I like it and it's great, but like we're not on the Enterprise
Mm,
and we're dealing with a character that like largely already has a lot of, we have a lot of material on this guy.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, his early stuff is kind of not really explored and that's interesting, but like you have a character who you created a show on who has like no, you have a failed pilot, which they
Yeah.
show in like a flashback episode, and then he's in a wheelchair and he beeps. It's like that's the character. It's all you know about this man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really fascinating to get to know him. And it's like, what do we
Yeah.
know about him? He's
Yeah.
nice. He likes to cook. He rides horses
Hmm.
and he believes in God. Like, that's it.
But wouldn't it be cool if we had to see like Spock and Kirk do stuff? Like, yeah, but you could do that after, right?
Yeah.
I
So,
do, for what it is, I enjoy seeing like the legacy characters interacting and
yes.
kind of being like, that's kind of cool. Like they, became friendly before they were a crew. And you
Yes.
kind of feel that way when you watch TOS. You feel like they have been friends for a while
Quite a
before.
while. Yeah.
Not like TNG where they're just like, well, this is my first time aboard with any of these people in 5 years.
Right. I
You
mean,
know?
literally, that shot of them all in the ready room talking to him, like it's the entire legacy cast. It's
Yeah.
Uhura, Spock, Kirk, Chapel, and Scotty. They all come in to
Yeah.
talk to him.
Yeah, it's really good.
And
Yeah.
it's great. But, and,
But you
it's,
could, but what we want is that to be its own
yeah, right.
show after this.
Let that have its own legs and let
Yes. Yeah.
Strange New Worlds be its
Yeah.
own
No,
thing.
you wrote Pike to have his own show. So let's like have Pike have his own show.
Yeah,
And then let's do the TOS before TOS stuff. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like they're also writing themselves into a corner because they're using up all their best material now for the TOS crew. And it's like
w-
now they're gonna have to come up with stuff if they do like a TOS thing. And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, but you could have just done Pike stuff, though.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Well,
Because you know why it's okay? Because it doesn't matter.
no, because it doesn't matter. Different timeline. They all lose their memory after the next season
I
anyway,
can't wait. We're
except for
gonna have
Spock because he knows Pike needs to go back to the planet with the Flosians.
Trelane Q is gonna return, realize he didn't erase everybody's mind from the wedding, and he's gonna come in a race, and it's gonna go too far, and nobody's gonna remember anything.
This
That's
time he's gonna leave Spock as the only one that remembers.
it.
Yeah, I
um,
don't know.
the Jeffries tube thing with Scotty and it was really fun when he was talking to Kirk. That was
It's
really fun.
great to see Scotty in the Jeffries tube fixing stuff. Yeah.
And it like sparks just like it did in the show, and he's
Hmm.
like, "Oh my!" I enjoyed all
It's
that
gonna be
stuff.
about 2 days, Captain.
Uh,
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed seeing the three-dimensional 5D chess. Like that
oh
was
yeah,
cool. It's a cool callback. Yeah. So starting off, I wrote, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like I really enjoy seeing ships doing stuff for once.
yes,
Like they have the money to do like CGI on the ships and they can actually maneuver the ships.
surprised.
That's weird, yeah. So, in the beginning, this when the
Oh
Enterprise
yeah,
like swoops in and like activates shields and like blocks the other ship and shoots the
yeah,
asteroids and stuff. It's like, thank you for showing me that the ships can
yes,
do stuff.
yeah,
Like that's really good.
yeah. It totally makes sense too.
Yeah. I like the design of that like alien ship
Yeah, that thing was
thing.
crazy looking. Yeah, it was cool.
It looks like the thing in Avengers, the
Oh
big,
yeah, the Chitari like
yeah.
whale thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I
Or yeah,
like that the Enterprise gets eaten like immediately.
yep,
I did think
yep.
that was like a fun way to get like the Legacy crew together. Like they beam over to
Oh
help, and then it was like, oh no, Pike and everybody's gone. Like I was like, hey, that's kind of, that's a good way to do it.
yeah, they always get it to be written pretty well. It's just
Yeah.
like okay,
I like that Kirk was like didn't want to like sit in the chair like too soon. Like
yes,
he
yeah, yes,
he was really like, didn't want to commit to it. I
yeah.
thought that was kind of cool.
It was kind of neat actually.
Yeah,
I liked their like rebreather suit things were kind of interesting.
it was cool. Yeah. You talking about like the Enterprise ones or like the
Yeah, the one
alien ones?
Lon
Yeah.
and Pike were using.
Yeah. I really enjoy their helmets.
Yeah, that's yes,
Yeah. Yeah, the rebreather helmets. Yeah. I like the design of the alien guys. I thought that like
yeah, like the
energy absorption chip thing was a cool idea.
yep. And yeah, the same when you were in the hallway and they were like Apollo mission like astronaut
Yeah.
suits. I was like, that
Yeah.
seems suspicious.
Yeah. Why didn't he shoot me?
The funny part I had was at this point, I mean, I still don't know what to call them, but Lon is talking to Pike and she's like, even the Gorn are afraid of this. And I was like,
That's yeah.
how would she know that the Gorn are
They
afraid of
talked. They talked
that's true.
while they were eating like her brother. They were like, you guys hear about that group of scavengers out there? Like they're pretty scary. Yeah, this is my note. It says considered monsters even by the Gorn. I can't wait for them to just have weird eyebrows.
Yes. And they had the weirdest of all two eyebrows.
Yeah. Their
But I wrote in my
ears were
notes
round on the bottom.
they were
Sick.
I wrote in my notes that I called them absorbotrons.
Absorbotrons. I like Paleo had her cat clock. I thought that was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
My grandma had one of those when I was growing up.
Yeah, I've seen
I
them.
for, yeah.
They're cool.
I
She
forget
said
the
something
actual name
funny,
of that.
right? She said something funny, like
Yeah.
it's like it was fun at first, but it lost its charm like really quickly or something.
Yeah. Then I wrote wired phones, baby.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it was really funny. It was like a mixture. I liked and didn't like how they handled the phones. Because like some of the dialogue and some of the acting was like really good when they were looking at the phones, and then some of it
Hmm.
was like, but you should still be just as confused about it. Like they kind of rode that line of like they knew what phones were and they didn't know what
Hmm.
phones were. Because like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just, but that's just for me. That's just such classic Trek being like, isn't that weird that things used to have wires on them? It's like I'm sure most of the ship probably still has wires on
no,
stuff.
they would never put
No,
anything up to their heads to talk.
no, never. I mean, don't their helmets have comm links
No,
inside them? Isn't that the
no,
same concept? Microphone and
no.
yeah, no, no, stupid. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Pretty dumb. I don't know if you wrote in your notes. I was like wholeheartedly confused and I just didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't
Mm.
understand how disconnecting the Farragut's nacelles and them going and like bopping the ship like disabled the scavenger ship. Like I didn't understand how that fixed the problem.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
was like, did I
I
miss a piece of
like
dialogue or something?
I liked that was the thing. I thought that was
That they could
cool.
disconnect, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just like it was just a bigger explosion than phasers, but
But to me, they didn't even explode. Remember, they just go like bonk, and then they're just like, it's the
it
same.
was almost like an EMP thing, but they didn't really explain that it was an EMP. It was just like because they were gonna load them with something fake to make them think that it was a good thing that they wanted, and
Yeah,
then they dropped them. But yeah, they didn't
that's
really.
that's where I lost the connection. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, I remember all of what you're saying until the part that mattered.
yeah. I don't know why the nacelles did what they did.
I didn't understand it.
I did really enjoy when they shoot the plasma torpedoes down the throat of the ship, though. That was
Yeah,
pretty good.
I wrote in my notes a simple shot like a ball in Big Mirtha's mouth.
Yeah. Yes. Big Bertha. Yeah. It's funny because the whole episode, they're like, our phasers didn't even touch it.
Nothing.
And it's like, but isn't it the way that everything is like all media is? It's like, well, yeah, the shield
Yes,
stuff is on the outside.
but
So
shoot it from the inside. Everything
if
can be
you
destroyed from the inside. Yeah,
if
yeah,
you just blow it up from inside, it's a lot softer though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
But it was a cool explosion, the green
But yeah, because they shot
plasma.
the Klingon ship.
Yeah. So when they showed the shuttle, the like human shuttle that launched pre-warp,
Yeah, yes,
it shows the flag and you're like, okay, but then it also has this giant delta on it. And I was like, wouldn't this have been like before the Federation?
yes.
So why is there a delta on the
I
ship, on the
I don't
shuttle?
know.
Okay.
Did you roll your eyes at the when they were talking about the Sehlat?
No, I didn't hate it. No, I didn't
Because
hate it. Why? Just because they said the name of the episode in the episode?
no, it was like I was fine with Kirk being like I'm kind of like this thing of because right they don't understand what cars are. So it's like
Right.
my mom had this old saying of like I'm a dog who catches a car and I'm like okay, I get what you're doing. But for I just felt like for Spock to be like, "Yes, we also have a saying like this and it's this thing." I was just like, "Okay, like I don't know. I guess I was a little disappointed that it wasn't. I thought it was going to be like the Aurora Boreas thing, where it's like a time thing. Instead, it was
Yeah,
what you
like
said.
a
It was,
like an infinite loop type of
yes.
thing. Yeah. No,
Instead,
that
it's like no. It just means that when the Salat eats its own tail, it doesn't realize that it's eating itself due to its own hunger. So it doesn't know what it's doing despite eating
yeah.
itself. You're like, okay, got it.
But it's funny too because like it's like that's also an Earth saying too. Like the snake that ate its own tail, we have that as an expression.
Yeah,
The
right.
dog that catches like what's a dog gonna do with the car once he catches it, you know. It's not like this crazy concept, you know.
Yep, agree.
Yeah, and we already kind of talked about the ending. Like I don't really care that they were all sad about the fact that they killed people. Yeah, don't know.
I don't know. Indy was really weak, and I just generally thought it just didn't. I don't know. I get like Kirk being upset about it, and I get them being like, "Oh man, geez, like we couldn't save these people. We didn't even discover what was wrong with them. Like we just had to kill them because they were killing us." Like I get that dilemma, but it's like okay. So what landed for me differently was what I said, which was like, okay, they're humans. That's sad, but like it should just be sad across the board. It didn't add shouldn't add any flavor that they're humans. It's like we're kind of past race superiority. It's like, right? That's the point of
Hmm.
Star Trek is like humanity is not better than any other species. That's like the
Right.
whole point of Star Trek.
But it is though.
What it is.
Because even in Star Trek, they still go on to say like humanity and things like that. And it's like, but it's not humanity anymore. It's, but like, that's what they always say is like, you know, for humanity. And it's like, but they're
Hugh
humankind.
Hugh Galactidy.
Yeah.
It's okay,
The ending always lets us down, I feel.
typically. So the nice thing was that this wasn't a yuck yuck episode.
Yeah, I think we broke the pattern, did we not?
Yeah. So next week says, I know it is. So
Can't wait, baby.
yeah, so that was our general discussion of the episode. We look forward to seeing what the rest of the season holds. It's really weird. We've talked about it at length that, like, I know gone are the days of 26 episodes. I'm not complaining that, I'm not asking for actors to ruin their lives to have more Star Trek, but it feels
Mhm.
like in a thing of this nature that they should be right? If you're going to deliver us 10 episodes, like 4 or 5 of them should be exceptional, and then 2 or 3 of them should be good, and then you have like 1 or 2 kind of like
Yeah.
average meh episodes. And Shuttle to Kenfori was not bad, but like that's kind of
Hmm.
all we got. And I know you like the Space Adventure Hour, and that's fine. but I just feel like it didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like I enjoyed it then, but like, like you said, looking on it now as like a whole, it's like it doesn't do anything for the season, like at all.
And I just like it's kind of weird to like now think about what has this season given us so far. I mean, we're over the halfway point. We're going into episode 7. We have
Yeah, I know.
7, 8, 9, and 10. We have 4 episodes left. One of the next one's is a chuckle fest. The following one's going to be a chuckle fest, and then you got 2 episodes, which they're going to try to cram a whole bunch of stuff into.
Yeah, because they're gonna want you to come back next season.
That's right. And I just feel like what's happened this episode? Chapel's moved on, right? And
Yeah.
Marie has some sort of weird DNA Gorn thing going on.
Yep. She's
That's it,
fighting other beings occasionally,
right?
and Lon and Spock are dancing.
Yeah, right. But I mean, really,
So
that's like all we've gotten, and
it's a lot.
it's very strange.
Ah.
Almost. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Tell us all of your great and happy parts
Mm,
of it. Tell us how much you loved it. Tell us how much you know for a fact that this connects to the original series and that we're
yeah.
wrong and that this is just becoming the best thing ever. Please tell us.
Yeah. Let us
Oh,
know if you enjoyed the episode, or did you think this Sehlat ate too much of its own tail?
there we go. Nice. We look ahead to episode 7, which is entitled "What is Starfleet?"
I don't know. I've been asking that since I started watching Star Trek.
Do you know? It's like the Picard
Does
thing,
anybody know?
right?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Ah,
Starfleet is? Do you
yes,
know?
yes, yes,
Do
yes.
you know? Do you?
Oh, they brought that up again this episode with the Prime Directive. They're like, hey, so that thing's going towards this planet, and it's
Oh,
gonna like blow up the planet and eat it, but like can't let them know they don't have warp technology. It's like, oh no, no, you're right. That makes sense.
it's like a giant
Oh well,
machine thing destroys and eats them all, or we reveal that aliens exist.
that makes the 7,000 lost so much stupider thinking about that.
That's true.
Because it was going to blow up and eat and consume this entire planet of people that don't even know there's space.
Right,
That's like, hey, our hands are tied. Federation says no.
right.
Mm-mm. And then they blow up the ship and they're like, oh, I can't believe we lost 7,000 human beings. Right? There you go.
But before we end the episode, let's quickly go to a comment on our previous
Oh.
discussion, and that was on Through the Lens of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode 5 of Strange New Worlds. So Print and Pedal says, I am consistently disappointed and frustrated with the writing of the romantic relationships in this season.
No, they're great.
It's just so poorly written and forced. It completely ruins what could be a decent episode, in my opinion. It genuinely reminds me of all the young adult fanfic I read as a young teen. I don't have a lot to say about this episode. It was fine. It was a cool concept. I liked the alien guy's appearance. It was neat as far as costume design goes. Sad to see the new nurse go, but I am interested in
Mm-hmm.
what will come of the Captain Patel storyline in this
Nothing.
episode.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
dead
And
on the planet the whole time.
that's the thing is that's irritating is like I just like I'm at the point now that not only have they broken me, they've broken my will to accept that this connects to canon, but
Yeah.
the all of the stuff that like they keep presenting is meaningless. I don't care about Lon and Spock. I don't care about Chapel and Spock. I don't care about
Mm-mm.
Chapel and Roger Corby. I don't
Nope.
care that Ortegas didn't get punished. I just don't care. It's like, what is
She's
it?
not
Doesn't matter.
she's not even scared of Gorn anymore. So
No,
it's just
right. And you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be episode 9, and she's gonna see a Gorn in the mirror and scream again, and then that's it.
they write these stupid things and then they just use them for like the season finale or episodes that like they need people to be,
Yeah, dramatic. Yeah,
dramatically bad for some reason. And it's like, oh my God. Like I just feel like this entire season too, like the Pike thing is one, and then the other side of it, I just feel like they just rush past stuff.
100%.
Like they just rush past stuff. It's like they introduce things, they're like, hey, that's actually like an interesting concept. Like I want to see where that goes. They're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Hurry up! We only have 14 more episodes.
Spock has to learn how to tango by the season finale. Don't you understand?
He'll
So
never
there you
make it to prom,
go.
Vulcan prom, which we'll see in next week's episode.
Ooh,
So thanks,
lava.
It's enchantment under the volcano dance. Got it. We look forward to talking about the next week's episode with you. We look forward to hearing about your thoughts of all of New Trek that we've been covering and talking about. We don't hate Strange New Worlds. It's just been kind of a letdown for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what happened here in season 3, but hopefully they'll get back on track.
Yeah.
So we love it, and we look forward to covering next week's episode when we find out some more Strange New Worlds. Can't wait to see what Kirk's doing.